Gemini, have you felt something shifting lately? Waking up with a strange urgency, a familiar memory hitting you out of nowhere. It's not random, it's a signal. 2025 is not here to keep things the same. It's here to crack you open in the best way possible. This year brings 3 powerful events into your life. A sudden financial breakthrough, but will you allow yourself to receive it without guilt? A farewell, not to break you, but to set you free. A soul reunion, a love that doesn't rescue you but walks beside you. You've spent years helping others shine. Now the universe is asking, will you finally choose yourself? This isn't about astrology. It's about alignment, your worth, your growth, your transformation. Before we dive in, like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss what's coming next. And set your intention now by commenting, I welcome growth and harmony into my life. Say it, write it, feel it, because just those words shift your energy. Gemini, this is the year you stop surviving and start living fully. Let's begin. Part 1. The universe whispers before it speaks. Before the biggest shifts in our lives, the universe rarely shouts. Instead, it whispers. The signs are subtle, barely noticeable, unless your heart is still enough to hear. It might be a dream that lingers in your chest longer than usual, a sudden breeze carrying a scent that takes you back 20 years, or that quiet feeling that the life you've built no longer fits the version of yourself you're becoming. For Gemini, 2025 will feel like that, a slow unfurling before a powerful bloom. Many people expect transformation to come with fireworks, but real change. It often begins in silence, in small discomforts, in the gentle cracking of a shell that once protected you, but now holds you back. I once spoke with an elderly man. He was 78. One night he had a dream of his mother, who had passed decades ago. She didn't say anything, just smiled and pointed at a wooden drawer in his old writing desk. A few days later, curious, he opened that very drawer and found a letter she had written to him long ago, never mailed, never read. It was a message of forgiveness, one he didn't even know he needed. That moment, quiet and deeply personal, changed everything for him. That's how the universe works. It gives you a whisper before it gives you a storm. It shows you a flicker of light before the sun fully rises. It asks, are you paying attention? Right now. Gemini, if your soul has been stirring, if you've felt out of sync or unusually emotional, it's not random. It's the energetic tide beginning to shift in your favor. Don't rush it, just notice it. Because when the whispers grow loud enough, you won't just hear them, you'll follow them, and they'll lead you to everything that was meant for you. Receiving without guilt. Gemini and the financial gift. Gemini, you've always been adaptable. You shift, you give, you adjust to make others comfortable. And because of that, many people around you thrive. But when it comes to receiving, especially receiving money or gifts meant solely for you, there's a quiet hesitation, isn't there? Not because you're ungrateful, but because somewhere deep down, you've been taught that wanting more, especially for yourself, feels selfish. That abundance must be justified with effort, sacrifice, or struggle. But here's a truth the universe is ready to teach you in 2025. Receiving is not selfish, it's sacred. You see, abundance isn't about ego, it's about energy. The more you receive with open hands and a peaceful heart, the more you're able to give from a place of wholeness, not depletion. Let me tell you a story. There was a woman in her early 50s I met once, a Gemini through and through. All her life, she worked 2 jobs, raised 3 children on her own, and never complained. But she always had this one dream, to own a professional sewing machine. Not to start a business, not to impress anyone, just to make things with her hands quietly, joyfully, But every time she saved up enough, she used that money on someone else. Her kids, her sister, even a neighbor's emergency. And each time she told herself, maybe next year. One day after her youngest child graduated and moved out, she received an unexpected tax refund. For the first time in decades, she had money that wasn't already spoken for, and still she hesitated. She told me, "It feels wrong to spend that kind of money on me. I'm not used to choosing myself." But something inside her shifted. She realized she didn't need to earn love through self-denial anymore. She bought the sewing machine, and when she stitched her first quilt, tears rolled down her cheeks, not because of the fabric, but because for the first time she allowed herself to receive without guilt. That's the kind of energy the universe wants for you now, Gemini. The financial blessing arriving in 2025 won't be random. It's karmic, it's personal, and it's time. But when it comes, will you meet it with gratitude or shame? The test isn't just about money, it's about worthiness. Can you hold abundance with ease, knowing you don't have to trade exhaustion for grace? Remember, money is a tool. It amplifies whatever energy you hold. When you receive from a place of joy, you give from a place of power. So Gemini, this is your year to stop asking, "Do I deserve this?" and start saying, "I welcome this because I'm ready." Part 3, a funeral. A goodbye, but not a loss. Goodbyes are never easy. Gemini, not for a soul like yours. You connect deeply. You remember quietly. And when it's time to let go, you often hesitate. Not because you're afraid of change, but because you know how sacred memories can be. But what if I told you? Letting go isn't rejection. It's evolution. It's the soul choosing growth over attachment. It's not about forgetting. It's about freeing what was once held too tightly. In 2025, one of the karmic doors opening for you is a farewell. It may not be a literal funeral, but it will feel just as heavy, because something or someone that defined a part of you will need to be released. Let me share a story that stayed with me for years. I once met a man in his early 70s. His wife had passed away 2 decades earlier, but he never changed a thing in their bedroom. Her books still lined the shelf. Her favorite scarf hung on the back of a chair. Even her coffee mug sat by the window, faded but untouched. Every morning he'd sit in silence across from that mug, as if expecting her to walk in. One day his daughter came to visit. She sat beside him, gently took his hand and said, "Dad, I think Mom would want you to have peace now." He didn't answer, but that night, for the first time in 20 years, he opened the closet and began to sort through her clothes. Not with anger, not with pain, but with gratitude. Each dress he folded came with a memory. Each photo he placed in a box was a page of a story he would never forget. And when he finally placed her mug into a wooden keepsake box, he whispered, "Thank you for loving me." That night, he didn't sleep with sorrow. He slept lighter, as if a part of his spirit once buried under years of holding on had finally been set free. Gemini, that's what the universe is inviting you into. This is not a loss, it's a release. Not of love, but of weight. Sometimes we hold on to versions of ourselves. We've outgrown people who no longer walk beside us, or dreams that once fueled us but no longer fit our soul's shape. We think releasing them is betrayal, but in truth, it's sacred closure. In 2025, there will be a moment when you're asked to say goodbye, not to punish you, not to break your heart, but to remind you that life flows forward, and the most beautiful endings are actually quiet beginnings. Whether it's a farewell to a person, a belief, or a past identity, you're not losing them, you're honoring them, by no longer needing to carry their weight to prove they mattered. And in that act, your spirit expands. So when grief visits, don't resist it. Let it sit with you. Let it speak. Then let it pass, like the wind through open windows. Because after the goodbye comes the space for something new. Part 4, the wedding, reunion of two souls. When we hear the word wedding, our minds often leap to flowers, music, white dresses, and vows whispered under candlelight. But the universe sees it differently. In the spiritual world, a wedding doesn't always mean rings and ceremonies. Sometimes it means two souls finally finding each other again, after years or even lifetimes of searching. A soul reunion, quiet, sacred, unstaged. In 2025, Gemini love may return to you. Not in the way the world defines it, but in the way your soul has always longed for. Not loud, not flashy, but true. You see, we've been taught to chase romantic ideals, passion, pursuit, fireworks. But karmic love, it doesn't chase. It remembers. It arrives not to complete you, but to reflect who you've become through your healing. Let me tell you a story. Two people, once childhood friends, inseparable during long summers and quiet winters, were torn apart by life. He moved across the world. She stayed behind, married young, and raised a family. They lost touch. 35 years later, both single again, both having lived and hurt and healed. They met again, accidentally, or so they thought at a bookstore. She dropped a book. He picked it up. They stared at each other, and for a moment it was like time folded inward. No rush, no declarations, just two familiar hearts meeting where words failed, but souls recognized. He didn't ask about her past. She didn't try to impress him. They simply sat, talked, walked. And for the first time in either of their lives, love felt peaceful. No games, no fear of abandonment, no pretending I don't need you to fix me. She told him one night, "Just sit beside me while I figure it out." And he did. That is the kind of reunion the universe is preparing for you. Gemini, this won't be about fantasy. It will be about truth. A love that doesn't demand performance, doesn't require you to shrink, and doesn't confuse intensity with depth. This person may not look like your type. They may not arrive with perfect timing. But when they look at you, you'll feel seen, and not for what you do, but for who you are. Because karmic love isn't here to complete your story. It's here to honor how far you've come in it. This union is a continuation, a soul promise that wasn't finished before, now returning to be fulfilled. And in that space, without pressure, without expectation, you will heal together. Not because you need each other to be whole, but because wholeness recognizes wholeness. So Gemini, if you feel a gentle pull towards someone from your past, or even someone new who feels eerily familiar, don't run. Don't question it too hard. Instead, ask your heart, is this the peace I've been waiting for? Because in 2025, your love story won't begin with lightning. It will begin with understanding. And that is the most sacred vow of all. Part 5. The interconnectedness of all three. We often think of life's big moments, money, death, and love, as separate chapters in a long book. But the truth is, they are pages from the same story. These aren't isolated events. They are intertwined movements of energy, each one setting the stage for the next. And in 2025, Gemini, you'll come to realize just how beautifully connected your own turning points truly are. Let me share a story. There was a man in his late 40s. For most of his life, he worked a modest job and lived quietly, always dreaming of doing something meaningful, but never having the means or the courage. When his father passed away, a man he had a complicated relationship with, he was surprised to find he'd been left a considerable inheritance. It felt strange, unearned, heavy. At first, he didn't touch the money. He thought about saving it, investing it, or just letting it sit. But deep down, something kept stirring. He remembered how his father used to talk about community, about helping others, something they never did together. So after months of reflection, the man made a choice. He used part of the inheritance to start a non-profit that provided art programs for underserved children. In the process of building this dream, he met a woman, an artist volunteering her time. Their connection wasn't instant fireworks. It was quiet, gradual, built on shared values, long conversations and moments of mutual healing. Money, death, love, all arriving in one chapter, woven not by chance but by destiny, because the soul doesn't waste transformation. The inheritance wasn't just financial, it was spiritual. The father's departure wasn't just an ending, it was a beginning. And the love that bloomed wasn't a distraction, it was a reward for choosing growth. Gemini 2025 may deliver you these same 3 archetypal events: a financial blessing, a farewell, a soul connection. You may feel overwhelmed trying to process them separately, but instead try to feel the thread that connects them all. That thread is your soul's journey. Maybe the money gives you the freedom to walk away from something that no longer fits. Maybe the loss opens space for someone new to enter. Maybe the love softens your grief and shows you how deeply you're still alive. These moments aren't just random, they're rhythmic. One prepares you for the next. Each shift makes room for deeper alignment. So don't ask, why is this happening now? Ask, what is this trying to open inside me? Because when you see life as a web of meaningful intersections, you stop fearing change and start trusting the design, Part 6. Astrological insights for Gemini in 2025. 2025 is not just a year of emotional milestones for Gemini. It's also a year of powerful planetary alignments that support your transformation. 2 celestial allies will play a major role in your journey: Jupiter and Venus. Let's start with Jupiter, the planet of expansion, abundance, and blessings. In 2025, Jupiter will align with your sign's energy in a way that opens new financial pathways and spiritual insight. But here's the catch. Jupiter doesn't hand out gifts just for wishing. It expands whatever is already within you. So if you're living in fear or self-doubt, it may amplify that. But if you're rooted in trust, gratitude, and readiness to grow, it will magnify those too. The takeaway: Jupiter works with your energy. Be intentional. Now let's talk about Venus, your karmic gatekeeper of love, beauty, and emotional healing. In mid-2025, Venus enters a sacred position for Gemini 1 that brings softness, connection, and soul-deep partnerships. This isn't a Venus that cares about romance for show. This is a Venus that asks you to slow down, feel everything, and choose love that heals rather than excites. So how do you align with these energies? Here are a few simple soul-grounding rituals to try. New moon journaling, monthly practice. Every new moon, light a candle and write your intentions, money goals, emotional releases, relationship desires. Start each entry with, "In this new cycle I welcome." Visualization with breath weekly practice. Close your eyes. Visualize your future self, happy, abundant, loved. Breathe into that image until it feels real. Hold that vision for 3 to 5 minutes. Heart check-in, daily practice. Ask yourself each morning, what does my heart need today? Listen, honor it. No matter how small, these rituals may seem simple, but their power lies in consistency. You're not just working with the stars, you're working with your soul. In 2025, Gemini astrology isn't predicting your fate. It's inviting you to co-create it. Part 7. Gemini's past versus Gemini's future. Gemini, if there's one thing that's defined your journey so far, it's your remarkable ability to adapt. You're the shapeshifter of the zodiac, quick intuitive, endlessly curious. You learn fast, think faster, and often move through life as a mirror for the people around you. You've helped others shine, played different roles in different rooms, shifted your language, your tone, even your dreams, to make sure no one felt left behind. But here's the cost of all that adaptability. You've learned how to disappear in plain sight. You've spent years clapping for others while standing backstage, with your own light dimmed. You've been the one who says, "I'm fine," even when you're falling apart. You've been the glue that held it all together for family, for friends, for love, and yet rarely gave yourself permission to want more. And now, your soul is tired, not broken, not lost, just weary from carrying the expectations of everyone else. So what happens, Gemini, when you stop living for applause and start living for peace? What happens when you no longer perform to fit the room, but choose spaces that fit you? That's what 2025 is offering you. A chance to stop measuring your worth by what you do for others and start honoring who you are when nobody needs anything from you. You've spent your life helping others open doors. Now it's time to walk through your own. It won't feel natural at first. You might feel guilty for saying no. You might question your right to rest, to receive, to just be. But here's the deeper truth. You don't owe anyone your exhaustion, and peace is not something you need to earn. It's something you already deserve. This year, let the version of you who was always the responsible one, the fixer, or the cheerleader, take a step back and let the real you, quiet, tender, creative-wise, step forward. Not for validation, not for applause, but for the simple, sacred experience of living in alignment. The world doesn't need you to be everything for everyone. It needs you to be fully yourself. And that, Gemini, is more than enough. Part 8, What to Let Go of Gemini. If 2025 is the year of expansion, then first it must be the year of release. Because the truth is, you can't step into your future carrying the full weight of your past. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means no longer allowing what once shaped you to control who you're becoming. So what exactly needs to be released? Start here. 1. Limiting beliefs. These are the quiet lies we've learned to whisper to ourselves. I'm not enough. I don't deserve success. I'll be loved only if I'm useful. These beliefs are like glass ceilings, clear and visible, but always there, keeping you small. It's time to break them too. Old trauma. You've carried stories in your nervous system for years. Unprocessed pain, heartbreaks, moments you didn't get to fully feel. You don't need to relive them, but you do need to release them. How? By finally telling the truth. That hurt me, and I no longer need to carry the silence around it. 3. Perfectionism Gemini. Your mind is brilliant, but sometimes it tricks you into thinking everything has to be polished before it's worthy. But perfection is just fear in disguise. The world doesn't need your flawless performance. It needs your honest presence. 4. People-pleasing. You've said yes when you wanted to say no. You've overextended to avoid disappointing anyone, but constantly shrinking to make others comfortable only leaves you unseen. Let go of the habit of editing yourself for approval. Practical exercise. Write a goodbye. Letter. Tonight, sit down with a pen and paper. Write a letter to your old self. Begin with, "Thank you for everything you did to get me here, but I'm ready to let you rest now." Let the words flow. Grief, gratitude, regret, relief. Burn it. Bury it or keep it in a drawer as a ritual of release. Guided visualization. Step into your future self. Close your eyes, breathe slowly. Now imagine a version of yourself 1 year from now. Lighter, freer, glowing with self-trust. What do they look like? How do they move? What have they said no to? What are they now saying yes to? Now, step into their shoes. Feel what it's like to live as that version of you. Stay there for a minute. Let it imprint in your body. That future isn't fantasy. It's already waiting. You just need to walk toward it. And the first step is letting go. Daily practices for receiving and rebirth. Gemini transformation isn't just a one-time shift. It's a daily practice. And if you're ready to step into the version of yourself who receives with ease, lives with grace, and walks in peace, you'll need rituals that align your energy every single day. Because rebirth doesn't happen in a single moment. It's a quiet daily choice to show up for yourself. 1. Morning meditation. I am worthy. Mantra. Each morning before the world demands anything of you, take 5 minutes just for yourself. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, place your hand over your heart, and repeat slowly, with breath, I am worthy. I am safe to receive. I am enough. Say it as many times as you need until it feels real, not just in your mind, but in your body. This simple practice reprograms years of self-doubt and people-pleasing. It reminds your soul that it's safe to expand. 2. Daily affirmation. I allow love, money, and peace to find me. Write this on a sticky note. Put it on your mirror, your fridge, your phone. I allow love, money, and peace to find me. Speak it into your day like an invitation. You're not chasing blessings anymore. You're welcoming them because they're already looking for you. 3. Small acts of receiving. Sometimes the biggest shifts come from the smallest acts. Here are a few simple practices to embody worthiness. Buy yourself flowers not for a reason, but because you're worth beauty. Ask for help. Let someone hold space for you without guilt. Invest in something joyful. A painting class, a cooking workshop, a new journal. These aren't luxuries. They're spiritual signals that say, I trust myself enough to choose joy. Receiving isn't passive. It's a skill, a spiritual muscle. And these daily practices help you build it, strengthen it, live it. Remember, Gemini, you're not here to earn your worth. You're here to remember it. So each morning, rise with that truth. Each night, rest, knowing you honored it. And watch how the universe begins to meet you. Halfway Gemini 2025 isn't just a year on the calendar. It's a sacred turning point. Not just a chapter, but a complete shift in the story. Your soul came here to write. You're not being asked to hustle harder or give more. You're being asked to receive without guilt, to release without fear, to love without losing yourself. The money, the farewell, the soul. Reunion, these are not separate events. They're sacred threads in the tapestry of your becoming. Each one inviting you back to yourself more. Whole, more honest, more alive. You've spent years helping others unlock their doors. Now it's your time to walk through your own. And as you do, may you remember, you are not too late. You are not too much. You are not too broken. You are right on time for your healing, your abundance, your love. So if this message stirred something in you, don't let it pass. Comment below. I'm ready to receive everything meant for me. Let that be your first bold step toward claiming your future. And before you go, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next message your soul's been waiting for. Gemini, your time isn't coming, it's already here.